Hi, I'm Bronwyn from Wisdom of the Sage, and I want to talk about Pluto and Aquarius. Look, there's a lot of hype and discussion around Pluto and Aquarius right now. If you're watching this, I'd bet on one of many thousands of different perspectives from astrologers right now. But mine's quite concise. So if you're looking for a quick and to the point viewpoint, you've found it here. So keep listening. And once I've gone through the summary, you can stop there. But after I've gone through the summary and my overall outlook for Pluto in Aquarius, I'll be going into each sign with a little bit more detail and a tarot card. So you can even fast forward, up to your sign as well. Look, Pluto in Aquarius. Okay, Pluto moves into Aquarius for the final time and it stays there until it moves into Pisces for the final time in January 2044. So on the 19th of November, Pluto moves into Aquarius. It travels through that sign over the next 20 years, a little bit to and fro when it gets to the end, and then it'll be into Pisces. It's a really significant event in astrology when a planet like Pluto moves into a new sign. And this is because Pluto is a generational planet and it gives a flavour and a theme to all those born under the sign it is at the time of their birth. So, for example, I was born when Pluto was in Virgo, and that has given all those born during the Pluto Virgo generation a knack for analysis and a tendency to over analyze emotionally, for perfectionism, very hard on themselves, and a strong sense of responsibility. So, for babies that are born over the next 20 years, they will have Pluto in an Aquarius theme. And that will most likely look like being tech savvy. So they'll have a natural affinity for technology and a knack for understanding complex systems. And that's because Uranus rules technology and Uranus rules Aquarius. They'll be community minded. They'll have a strong sense of social justice and a desire to create a better world for all. And that's that real Aquarius trait to them. They'll be individualistic. They'll have a unique perspective and willingness to challenge the status quo. So that's a bit exciting, really, and quite transformative. They'll have a powerful drive to change the world and leave their mark. So these are all the things that generation of children will grow up with. Pluto's last transit through Aquarius occurred from 1778 to 1798. So it was a long time ago. During the average person's lifespan, they might see Pluto go through not even five, it's 20 years, around 20 years per sign. So 3, 4, if you're lucky, 5 signs. But the last time it was in Aquarius was 1778 to 1798. And this period was marked by significant historical events that included the American Revolution, the French Revolution, and the Industrial Revolution. And there's no coincidence that these are all revolutions, because that's the natural state of Aquarius, who is the true rebel of the zodiac. And the rise of the people makes perfect sense. And Pluto's all about the death of something to be able to transform. Pluto's about transformation. But before you can transform, you need to let go of something to make way for the new. So when you've got Pluto and Aquarius together, that's really, really powerful. So astrologers tend to look back at what happened at the last transit, and that can give some clues as to what might happen for this transit, but it's not a crystal ball either. Um, but what do we expect then over the next 20 years during this transit? Well, I would expect at the very least there would be huge technological advancements, and we're already seeing those for the last few years as we've got closer. AI and automation, digital revolution, um, And the flip side of that will be cybersecurity concerns, AI used for evil as well as good. We live in a world of duality, so whatever comes through, you're going to have the positive and you're going to have the negative to it. But yeah, we're already seeing the beginnings of these impacts as we've moved closer to the transit with technology, and Uranus rules technology. I don't think we truly understand the amount of change that will happen through technology. I don't think you can even predict how great this will be. It will truly transform our future, I believe. Um, and it's hard for us to even imagine what that may look like, for 20 years from now, and the foundations of it going forward. If you think back to the Industrial Revolution, you know, society came from simple farming, and through the Industrial Revolution, we grew towns and cities, and mass work, and that still continues today. We're going to go through another transformation now, and it's going to be very technologically driven again, as was the industrial. But um, I think it's really going to change the way we live. Now, what else? Community and collective consciousness. That will be a big theme for the next 20 years. Social and political changes, challenging traditional power structures, global consciousness with increased awareness of how we connect, and community building, fostering a sense of belonging. They're really Aquarian traits, and it may be difficult to see now because we're coming out of really structured Pluto in Capricorn. And with that Pluto influence, there really does need to be the death of the old structure to make way for the new structure, and that's never an easy process. Um, Pluto's going to be there for 20 years. There's plenty of time for this to happen. So we'll just start. It's not going to. Uranus makes things sudden change, but still, we've got 20 years to go through that. And finally, individuality and self expression will be a big theme. So, unique identities being embraced, non conformity, challenging social norms, personal transformations. Again, Aquarius loves anything that's different and unique. It's not about fitting in, whereas Capricorn was very much about fitting in, reputation. Aquarius is quite different. And I say a Capricorn because that's what we're moving out of. So it's going to be quite different to how we're looking at the moment. And with any revolutionary change, there's fear attached to it. And I do think there will be extraordinary revolutionary change. The existing power structures will need to fall to make way for new ones. So, it's not all going to be easy. It's not going to be all rainbows and unicorns. However, I do believe we've got some really, really exciting and transformational times ahead that will drive to heal the global community. Um, Community is going to be a strong theme through this as well. So that's how I see Pluto in Aquarius transit for the next 20 years. And now I'm going to move in to what that may look like on an individual level for each sign. But it's even better if you know on your natal chart what house Aquarius is in. So, and I'll talk to those as I'll run through them. And I'm also going to pull a tarot card for each one as well. So, you can fast forward through to yours, or listen to the lot, whatever you'd like to do. Okay, so let's start with Aries. If you're Aries, or if you have Aquarius in the 11th house. So Pluto will be transforming groups, friendships, and your hopes and dreams, all 11th house themes. You may find yourself drawn to new groups of people. Expect to leave groups that you are currently a part of. And by groups, I mean community groups or clubs, teams, or social groups. Friendships may drop off as well, even long standing ones may change. and you'll revolutionize your outlook and what you're looking for from friends. And finally, your hopes and dreams for the future will undergo radical transformation as you look for meaning for from what you aspire to. So there's lots of change. And again, this is over the next 20 years. This isn't going to happen in the next month. Um, but there's lots of changes happening during that time. Oh, and for you, Aries, I actually got two cards. We've got the Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Pentacles. So, the advice for you during this time is to not fight the change as it happens, and where you'll land is somewhere that you're going to feel really happy and secure, and the people around you are going to bring you a lot of happiness. So that's really nice for you. If you are a Taurus or you have Aquarius in your 10th house, then your career and how you are represented to the world will undergo transformation. Expect a shake-up in your career as you question if this is really the legacy that you wish to leave. And because it is over a long period of time, it may even include you starting again with a career. What is it that you want to show the world? And is the purpose you're working towards now still lighting you up? These are the questions that you'll be asking yourself. And let's just see what we've got here from Tarot for you. We've got the Page of Wands, which is all about new work. A Page of Wands is something that you'll get just before you start a new job. So it's very much a real change in career for you, Taurus, or if you've got Aquarius in the 10th house, depending what your natal chart looks like. So, Gemini, or if you have Aquarius in the 9th house, you may have a spiritual awakening or transformation. The philosophy of which you live your life may undergo a complete transformation, and you may also change your underpinning beliefs and personal philosophy. Alternatively, you may find you move to another country that aligns more to your individual values. It'll be very value driven. There'll be some big changes for you. The card that's come up is actually the Five of Cups. So it really is about leaving behind. It's like a big disappointment, a big sadness, as you come to the realization that the beliefs that you're holding on to now are no longer aligning with where you want to go. So that's for you, Gemini. And if you are Cancer or you have Aquarius in your 8th house, the Pluto transit, will be transformative to your psychology. And there will be a transformation in your outlook and view of self. You may find yourself bringing up hidden and outdated beliefs about yourself and examining them with a new perspective. It's not always an easy transit, this one, but it's necessary for transformation and opening the gateway to new beginnings. Your partnerships may undergo radical changes as you let go, to be able to transform and move forward. Other changes with this aspect can include things like divorce or relationship transformations and bankruptcy and legal issues. But the card that came up for you was the Empress, which is something of new beginnings. So it's one of abundance. So I've got no doubt this transformation as you go through it will bring you new abundance and new joy in life. Okay, so if you're a Leo or you have Aquarius in the 7th house, this is all about relationships, and what you do for the other. So as this Pluto transit goes, you may experience the end of a relationship to allow you to bring in a new life partner that allows you to shine. or your relationship just may change, because Aquarius is about freedom. So a relationship needs to allow you to be free at the same time as being part of a relationship. And what's come up for you is the Seven of Swords. Now, this can indicate, look, there's two ways you could look at this, and I think they both probably apply. One is, there could be some deception around partnerships, and this could be a self-deception or it could be deception from someone towards you. But that may trigger something that allows you to approach relationships a different way. And this can also be around being really clever around that. Okay, so if you're a Virgo or you have Aquarius in the 6th house, then you can expect radical changes to your daily routine. And this could be due to changes in work or changes in health or changes in responsibility for others. So there's something that's going to impact you, that means the way you are doing life at the moment is going to change. And what's come up for you is the Page of Cups. So this is around, expect the unexpected. You're not going to see this coming, whatever it is, and but it's going to have a big impact for you. Right. So if you are a Libra or you have Aquarius in your 5th house, transformation for you will be in one of two areas or even both. One is children. So you may either have children or your children may leave home. It's a long time though, so both those things could happen really in that time. You could take on caring duties for children that you weren't expecting. Definitely something around children. And the other area of focus for you may be in the way you shine. And this may look like you pulling back from being there for everybody else to being there purely for yourself. But the changes will be radical and you'll hardly recognize yourself from the person that you are now, which is really interesting. And we've got the world here. So that's like, the world is the end of a cycle and the beginning of a new cycle. So that makes perfect sense that the person that comes out at the end of this cycle will be different to the person who goes in. I think it's going to be more about that rather than kids, actually. So if you are a Scorpio or you have Aquarius in your 4th house, then you can expect changes in the house for you, Scorpio, and it will be big. You may find yourself living in very different circumstances to what you're living in now over that period. And this may be the residence that you live in or the people that you live with or both. Now, 2 cards have come out for you. You've got the Nine of Swords and you've got the Queen of Wands. So I'm feeling there's going to be periods for you where you are at a bit of a loss as to what to do. There may be some periods of anxiety, but this beautiful Queen of Wands is someone who is sitting in their power. They've got it together and they're living in their own unique way. They're not living for other people, which is really nice. So I've no doubt that it will be positive in the end for you. Now, if you are Sagittarius, or you have Aquarius in the 3rd house, a whole new way of thinking is transforming for you. What interests you, who you want to talk to, what you want to read, what you want to see, what you want to consume on social media, even where you want to travel to, even the way you travel will be impacted. So it's all around the thinking and the mind for you. And let's see what card we've got on the top here for you. We've got the Devil. So this is interesting. This is interesting. The third house is about duality as well, because natally this is where Gemini sits. So it's really interesting that we've got the two there. Um, I feel for you, there may be um, there may be some temptation. Um, uh, to not move forward on the path that's being presented to you. So it's going to be a bit of a rocky ride to get there. I've got no doubt that you'll get there. And it will probably be a result of that temptation as well. That whole new way of thinking, and how you're approaching life will change for you. If you are a Capricorn or you have Aquarius in your second house, it's all about the money for you. You may suffer a big loss, but it will transform into great gains. Or it could be the other way around. You may get, initially have great gains and then you lose it all. Whatever happens, and it might happen more than once, as you sort of transform and move into the new you, it will rock the way you feel secure in this world. And the resulting transformation will actually free you from the binds of money to make you feel safe. So it will be a bit of a journey for you. My cat is meowing. I'm not sure whether you can hear him. But let me just see what card we've got here for you. Okay, it's the Seven of Wands, and this is a little bit about that trying to hold on to what you've got. And the advice would be is to just just let it go, because there's something better for you around the corner. If you are Aquarius or you have Aquarius in the first house, there will be some familiarity for you with Uranus as your ruling planet. So, in fact, shaking things up is something you strive for because you are an Aquarius. But transformation for you will take place in how you present to the world, and this will be a radical do-over. You will not recognize the person at the other end, of this transit from the beginning to the end. You've got the Five of Wands here, and this is about creating the star. If you think of the star in tarot, this is what these guys are trying to do, work together to create that star. And this is really how it's going to feel for you, at times during this transit as you recreate your look. It's a complete do-over that's coming for you. And finally, if you are Pisces or you have Aquarius in the 12th house, this transformation will break open something that you prefer to keep hidden. It's one of the tougher transits from that perspective. And there may well be consequences for the secrets here as well that you're keeping. However, what results is a connection to spirit, or all that is divine, that is truly the pathway of enlightenment for you. So whilst it may feel really uncomfortable initially, where you land is, it's beautiful. And okay, so we have the Five of Swords and the Four of Swords. So the Four and the Five of Swords here. Yeah. So this is around I really feel this is around some of those secrets that come forth. It's very ego based, whatever it is. It's something you don't want to let out, and there may well be consequences for that. The result, though, is someone who is, has that connection, and can see the unity between all that is. And I feel that's very much the Four of Swords there, someone who is at peace. I hope you enjoyed that, and got something out of it. I'm really looking forward to Pluto moving into Aquarius. Again, things won't happen suddenly. It's a slow transit. It takes a generation. But it's really a great idea to have a look at where Aquarius sits, what house it sits in your chart. And you can feel free to contact me via my website, and we can have a look at that for you, a bit of a deeper dive of that Pluto transit on your chart. Okay, thanks for that. Bye.